Hello everyone, welcome to Gaming Alchemy. Today in this video we are going to be concluding our playthrough of Star Wars Outer Rim with the unfinished business expansion. And let's get right back into the action.
Okay, and for the start of my next turn, we are going to move up to 6 spaces from Kessel here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we are on a nav point space, so we cannot do a market action or deliver bounty or do jobs or anything like that. So we will simply have a nav point encounter. But first, I will use Bossk's ability that lets him recover 2 damage from his character and his ship, which works really well. Now we're undamaged. And our nav point encounter card asks if we have positive, negative, or neutral Imperial reputation. We have neutral Imperial reputation right now, so we are going to be doing this. And that says here in the middle of nowhere, you find a makeshift Imperial checkpoint. Better get your bribes ready. Test piloting. If you fail, lose 2,000 credits unless you discard one of your cargo. So we will have to make a test. We do not have the piloting skill, so that means we are going to have to roll a crit symbol in order to pass this. And we roll 2 blanks. So we are going to have to pay $2,000 or credits. So that majorly sucks, but gotta keep those Imperials happy. And now for Dengar's turn. So he does not have any bounty targets, so he is going to gain 2,000 credits, which gives him a healthy 15,000 credits at the moment. And then it says to do all that apply, buy a ship. If unable and on a planet, discard top card of the cargo market deck and gain 4,000 bucks. So we're going to look at the ships. And he has 15,000 credits now because of that, which is enough for him to buy this ship. So that is what he is going to do. So he will sell that ship. You know, it's worth zero credits. And he is going to gain the Azatec anti-slaver gunship. So this ship, I'll show you quick, has a ship goal. Win 3 ground combats to gain 1 fame and flip this sheet. So I'm just showing that to show you that when you buy new ships, they have ship goals. The AI player doesn't care about those kind of things. But just to let you know, that is on the new ships that we will purchase. Okay, and for our next turn, we are going to head to Naboo over here, because that is the destination of that job that we purchased a while back. So we can move up to 6, which is the movement value of our ships. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we end up on Naboo. And for our market action, we are going to try to buy a gear card to make us a little beefier. So we don't like this particular ship mod at the moment. We're more interested in getting a higher attack value. And, ooh, we find one. So this is a weapon, which gives us 1 more attack. And when resolving a bounty, you may gain an additional attack. Oh, nice. If you do, you cannot eliminate the contact. Okay, so you'd have to do the capture option then. So we will place that guy there, and we will pay the 5,000 credits that it costs. So now, with this armor here, we have +2 armor, and we have +1 attack values, which gives us, let's move this over here. So we would have 4 attack, and we have 6 health, and we can gain an extra attack if we're doing bounties. And if you remember on our ambition sheet here, we are actually trying to do a lot of bounties. So I should have actually completed this one already, because it says gain the reward from 1 white pip or green pip bounty, and Garindon was a white pip bounty. So we will actually get to complete that by placing one of those on there. And we want to start looking for a yellow or orange bounty. And then we want to win a ship combat against the control. So we are going to have to eventually start thinking about purchasing some mods for our ship and maybe buying a new ship that'll be a little beefier to take down a patrol. But it doesn't have, it just says any patrol. It doesn't say like a level 3 or level 4 patrol, so it might not be too hard. But just want to update you on that. And because we bought that card, the next card in the market deck says that we got to move the Rebel Patrol 4 spaces. So the Rebels are here underneath the Syndicate. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we can have an encounter. So we can either do a Naboo encounter and resolve that, or we can reveal one of these contact tokens and either try to recruit them or try to see if that white pipped one is Dr. Evazan and try to eliminate or capture him. And it is not. It is the Black Sun agent. So why don't we try recruiting him? He is card number 5 in this databank card deck. So let's go find that. And when we look at his card, it says if you have negative syndicate reputation, which we do unfortunately because of the last contact token we encountered, it says to test stealth. If we fail, your character suffers 2 damage and then that's it. If we would have had positive or neutral syndicate reputation, we could have tested influence, and if we passed, we would have been able to spend 2,000 credits to if you would fail, you may spend 2,000 credits to pass this test, but then we could have increased or gain this crew, I mean. So let's do our stealth test. And we horribly fail. So we have to lose suffer 2 damage for that. So we get 2 damage and we have to, we don't get to collect this crew, this Black Sun agent as a crew. So we will put his card back in the databank deck and he can actually be interacted with later. So Dengar doesn't have any bounties, so he is going to gain 2,000 credits. And he has 0 because he bought a ship from before, so that's all he has right now. And he is going to buy another bounty, even if at a nav point, but he's on a planet, so that is okay. So let's do that. And the top card of the bounty deck is actually a job, and he doesn't want that. He wants an actual bounty, so we are going to flip, and that's another job. We're going to flip again, and he actually finds a bounty. So he is going to take Greedo and try to find him and capture him, well, eliminate him for some fame and credits. So we will place Greedo under his bounty section here. And then for his encounter step, we are going to do the last one. Gain 1 reputation with this planet's faction. It says he doesn't have enough money to gain a fame. He already encountered the only bounty target in that space that he's currently in. And there's no patrols in this space. And he is currently in a space with Imperial reputation, so he is going to go up 1 on the Imperial track. So just like so, he is in positive standing with the Imperials. I think for our next turn, we are going to head to Mon Calamari to try to recruit this or see who this yellow token is, because we are looking for a yellow bounty. So we are going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there. We couldn't go to this planet because the Imperial Patrol is there, and because we have neutral reputation with the Imperials, we would have to stop there. So I don't want to stop, but I do want to see if we can find out who that is and possibly get a bounty for him so that we can complete that goal on our ambition sheet. And for our market action, I think we are going to buy this cargo, which happens to be illegal cargo. It costs $2,000. We just can't buy it on Cantonica, but we can deliver it to Cantonica and potentially gain 7,000 credits and a fame. So we will put that in the cargo section of our ship. And then we reveal the next top card, which says we have to move the Imperial Patrol 4 spaces towards us. So we will grab the Imperial Patrol and go 1, 2, 3, 4. But we have positive or sorry, neutral reputation with the Imperials, so nothing else happens. And we are also going to use Bossk's ability to remove 2 damage from our character. And we are going to see who is underneath this yellow contact token like I talked about before. And it is Grand Admiral Thrawn. So we're going to check out Databank card 11 and see what we got to do to get him on our team. And his card says, the Grand Admiral is looking for someone to sabotage a rebel cell. You get the feeling that you're only one part of a larger plan. So if you have positive or neutral Imperial reputation, you may discard Grand Admiral Thrawn's token and gain the job below. And the job is on Lothal, which isn't too far from us actually. So we resolve encounter card 48 during our encounter step. And the reward is that we have to lose a rebel reputation, but we gain 7,000 credits of fame and 1 Imperial reputation. And then we remove this card from the game. Okay. So we do have a neutral reputation with the Imperials, so we're going to grab this and take this job. And we can only have 2 jobs or bounties at a time, so I think we're actually going to get rid of this White Pip bounty, Dr. Evazan, and replace him with Grand Admiral Thrawn's job. And now for Dengar's turn. So he is not defeated. He is going to try to move towards a bounty target that he has, which is Greedo, and he needs to find a green contact token. So he is going to go to the nearest one, which happens to be on Mon Calamari, where I am right now. So he is going to go 1, 2. And then in his action step, he is going to say do all that apply. If all bounty slots full, they are not. So he is going to buy another bounty. And that happens to be none other than Chewbacca himself. And it costs $0 to take this bounty, so he is going to take Chewie. And he is going to place him under his other bounty slot. And for his encounter step, he does not have negative reputation with the Imperials, which happen to be on that same planet right now. He will encounter a bounty target, character, crew, or contact in this space. And there is a green contact token in this space, which matches Greedo, so he is going to uncover that. And it happens to be Greedo. Wow. Lucky guy. So he is going to have an unopposed combat with him and basically collect the elimination reward for Greedo. So he's going to gain 8,000 credits and 1 fame. So he is going to get 8,000 credits and another fame, which puts him to 2 fame. And when he just took Chewbacca previously, the next revealed card showed that we should have moved the Imperial Patrol 4 spaces towards him. So let's do that quickly first. And he was on Lothal when that happened, so the Imperial Patrol should have moved there first. But he has positive patrol with him, so it wouldn't have stopped his movement to here. So that's all that would have changed. And then we removed the Greedo contact token from that planet as well. And then lastly on his card, he has a special that says, if not all crew slots are full, game the crew that matches a face-up contact of the lowest class on this planet for free. But as you can see, yeah, there actually aren't any face-up contact tokens left here, but there is one on the planet itself. So I think he would get that contact token for free, which ends up being Ketsu Anyo. So he is going to collect her as a crew. So we will put her, move this back, as a crew on his ship. And his ship actually has room for 3 crew slots. It's pretty awesome. And you can see that this gives you extra skills. So Ketsu Anyo gives a stealth and a strength skill. So now Dengar actually has 2 strength. And for our next turn, we are going to try to go to Lothal, because this job we got from Grand Admiral Thrawn is there, and we want to resolve that and get that reward. And Lothal happens to be very close to us, just 2 spots away. And for our market action, I think we're just going to buy this hired help. It costs 1,000 credits, but it allows us to, before we perform a skill test, we may gain a skill of our choice for that test. If you pass the test, discard this crew. So it's kind of like a one-time use bonus skill gain. And then once you use it, then you have to get rid of her. But I think that's going to help in this next job we have on Lothal that we're going to complete for Grand Admiral Thrawn. And the next card revealed states that we have to move the rebellion 3 spaces toward us. So the rebels are going to move 1, 2, 3 over here between Tatooine and Nal Hutta. And we will gain the only crew spot we have on our ship, our hired help. And we will pay that 1,000 credits that we needed to pay to purchase her as well. And for our encounter phase, we are going to resolve this job here. So it says resolve card 48, which I have here from the databank deck. And the first part of it says, you feign interest in the rebel cause, hoping to gain access to their facilities. So we got to test influence, and if we pass, we skip to step 3. Oh, that'd be nice. If you fail, you may lose 1 rebel reputation to skip to step 3. Interesting. So before we roll that, we are going to use our hired help that we just purchased to gain the influence skill in the hopes that it'll help us pass this test. So let's roll for that now. So we got to get either a crit symbol or a normal hit symbol. And we got 2 normal hit symbols. So we passed that influence test. So we will have to discard our hired help now, but that's okay. She did what she was supposed to do. And now we get to skip to step 3, which says test strength. If you fail, your character suffers 2 damage. If you look at Bossk's card, he does actually, in fact, have strength. So we only need to roll a normal hit or a crit in order to pass this test. So let's roll for that now. And we totally fail. So it says we suffer 2 damage. So Bossk will get 2 damage for that. Then number 4 on the card says you set some charges in the rebel facility and attempt to escape before it explodes. Test tactics. If you fail, your character suffers 3 damage. If you are not defeated, complete this job. Okay, so Bossk actually has the tactics skill. And we have, because of that armor we actually have +2 armor, so we have 6 health total. We've taken 2 damage. So even if we fail this, we are still going to be able to complete this job. But let's roll for this. So this is for tactics, and we get 2 hit symbols, so we pass that test. Which means we resolve the reward section of this card, which means we lose a rebel reputation, but we gain 7,000 credits, a fame, and an imperial reputation. Then we remove this card from the game. So let's do that. So we are going to lose a rebel reputation. So now we're neutral with the rebels, but we're going to gain an imperial reputation. And we are going to gain 7,000 credits and a fame. I like that. And now for Dengar's turn. So he is not defeated. He is going to move directly. This is his actual Dengar card. He's going to move directly to the space with of the other player with the most negative reputations, which happens to be us, because we are negative with the syndicate, unfortunately. And then he is going to make us take 2 damage for each of our negative reputations. Shoot. If the character is defeated this way, Dengar gains a fame. Okay. So Dengar is going to move to our space. And because we have that negative reputation with Syndicate, he is going to give us 2 more damage, but we are not defeated because we have 4 + 2 armor. Thank goodness for that armor. So Dengar does not get a fame point for that. And then if he has negative reputation with the patrol in his space, he encounters that patrol, but he's in a space with the Imperials, he has positive reputation with them. So he's not going to do that, but he does have 8,000 credits, so he will spend that to gain a fame. So he is going to spend 8,000 credits, and he is going to go up on the fame track. So he is now at 3 fame. So he is currently tied with us at 3 fame at the moment. And then his special at the bottom says he is going to discard the top card of the job deck and the luxury deck, and then shuffle this AI card back into the AI deck. So we will do that. We will discard the top card of the luxury deck, which gives us an undercover agent, and the top card of the job deck, which gives rooting out spies as the next job. And for our next turn, I think we are just going to stay there on Lothal and collect 2,000 credits, which puts us at 17,000 credits at the moment. And this ship is looking really nice. I think I'm going to purchase this ship for 15,000 credits. So we will pay our 15,000 credits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there we'll pay our 15,000 credits, and we get to replace our old junky ship with this awesome ship. And it has a ship goal that says win 2 combats against patrols to gain a fame and flip this sheet, which would give us another ability, a long-range ion cannon. When you win a combat against a patrol, do not lose reputation with that patrol's faction. So that's pretty cool. So we will put that down. We will put our cargo that we had back there, and now we have spots for 2 crew. Not that we have any yet, but we want to hopefully collect some in the future here. And we will also use Bossk's ability to heal 2 damage on his turn as well. And for our encounter step, since we are here with Hondu Onaka, why don't we try to recruit him to our causes? So we need to grab card 14 from the databank card deck. And his card says, haha, my friend, with my brains and your capital, why, we will both be rich. So it says you may spend 3,000 credits to gain the crew below and discard Hondo Onaka's token. Well, that is really too bad because we only have 2,000 credits, so we can't even purchase him, at least not yet. But his contact token will remain on that planet, and we can interact with him later. Okay, and for Dengar's next turn, he is not defeated, so he is going to move towards a yellow pip contact token that is nearest to him, which in this case will be on Kessel. So he is going to move his ship's movement value of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and make it to Kessel. And then for his action step, he is supposed to buy a ship, but he is unable to do that right now since he only has 2,000 credits. So he is going to discard the top card of the cargo market deck and gain 4,000 credits. So he is going to discard Coaxium Crystal from play, and he is going to reveal some stolen weapons that are illegal cargo. And he will gain 4,000 credits. And lastly, he is not in a space with a patrol, so he is going to encounter that yellow contact token. He's going to flip it over and see who it is. So he is going to flip it over and reveal Dengar. So he revealed himself, so obviously he cannot capture himself, so this is just going to get removed from play, and that is too bad for Dengar. He is going to have to try a little harder to find Chewbacca in the universe. And for my next turn, I think I'm just going to stay on Lothal again, collect 2,000 credits, because I really want Hondo. I really want to get another crew member. For my action step, I'm going to collect this bounty. It costs $0. It's Dr. Afra, and I do need to eventually complete a yellow or orange pip bounty. And this orange one is 5 attack value, and some of the yellows I've seen are 6, like Chewy. So I'm like, well, can't get much better than that, so I might as well take her as a bounty and try to find her. And I will put her under the bounty slot on my player board, and we will reveal the next bounty card, and there's no symbols on it that we have to resolve. And now, because we know it costs 3,000 credits to recruit Hondo, we are gonna recruit him now. So we are gonna pay the 3,000 credits, which we do now have, and we are gonna gain Hondo to our ship, and he is gonna be our very first crew. Hooray! And I should also mention that he gives us an influence skill, and he gives us an ability to increase the reward on each of our cargo by 2,000 credits, which is pretty great because we do have some illegal cargo. That's going to gain us 9,000 credits instead of 7 now when we complete that. So that's awesome. Okay, for Dengar's turn, he is not defeated. He is going to move towards the next closest yellow pip contact token to try to find Chewy. And the next closest yellow contact token is over here in Takodano. But as you can see, it costs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 movement, and he only has 6 movement. And AI characters don't actually have to stop on the maelstrom space like we do. So they do like to make it to a planet if they are able to. So he is going to actually go to the king or the ring of Kafrene here, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces, and then he can still do a market action, and then he can go to Takodana on his next turn. And for his action step, he is going to buy gear, and he can buy gear, and he is on a planet, so let's go do that. And the very top card of the gear deck right now is this weapon that gives him +1 attack value. It costs 5,000 credits, and he has 6,000 right now, so he can afford it. He won't get the ability here, but it will help him with his attack value. So we will tuck that up here, and now he has 2 gear, giving him an extra armor and an extra attack, and that will cost him 5,000 credits. And then as usual, we have to flip the next card, and we have the Imperial Patrol that is going to move 3 spaces towards Dengar. So the Imperials are over here with me on Lothal. So they're going to move 1, 2, 3 towards Dengar. And for Dengar's encounter step, he is not in a space with a patrol, so he would next move on to encountering a bounty target in his space. There's only a green and an orange contact token on his space, so I don't think he's going to care about them because they're not yellow. He doesn't have 8,000 credits to buy a fame, so he's going to gain a reputation with this planet's faction. But this planet he is on doesn't actually have a faction, so that's all he's going to do. And if you remember, we are looking for Dr. Afra, and we just happen to be on a space with a orange pip contact token. So I think we're going to just stay there, collect our 2,000 credits, and we will try to encounter that contact token for our encounter step and see if that's Dr. Afra. And that moves us on to our action step. So as usual, we can use Bossk's ability to heal 2 damage from our character. And we can do a market action as well. So I think I kind of want to cycle through some of the gear cards and see if we can get some better mods for our ship. So we'll flip that one. Astromech droid. Interesting. I mean, I could buy that droid right now, which would give me some tech. Yeah, why not? I have 4,000 credits. Maybe I'll just buy that Astromech droid. And now we have 2 crew finally in our ship. They don't give us a ton of extra skills, but every little bit helps. And then we are going to pay the 4,000 credits to purchase him. And we have 0 credits now. And we will flip the next card over. And it looks like we have to flip a contact token on our space with 1 to 4 players in play. And there is 1 player. So we are going to flip the contact token in our space. And since this is the lowest one, we're going to do this anyway in our very next step. But we reveal Ahsoka Tano, so that's not Dr. Aphra. But why don't we try encountering her and seeing if we can recruit her to our ship. And she is pretty awesome. She gives knowledge and stealth to our skills. She gives us 2 extra attack. And after you win a ground combat, gain a fame and then discard this crew. So she can actually help you get more fame, which is awesome. But in order to get her, it says we may fight a ground combat against stormtroopers of attack 5. If we do, we lose an Imperial reputation, which isn't great. But if we win, we gain a Rebel reputation, and we may spend 6,000 credits to gain the crew below and discard Ahsoka Tano's token. So we do not have 6,000 credits. I spent the last 4,000 that we had, so we won't be able to recruit her for now, so we will just leave her contact token face up, and we can maybe try to come back to her later. And Dengar looks like he is going to move towards that next closest yellow pip contact token, which is in Takodano, like we talked about on the previous turn. So he is going to move 2 spaces to Takodano. And for his action step, he is going to purchase another or get another bounty. And the top card of the bounty deck is Boshek. So he is going to take Boshek to one of the bounty slots on his player board. And he will flip the next card, which is Lando Calrissian. He is going to move the Syndicate 4 spaces and flip a contact token in his space. So he will move the Syndicate 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4. And he will flip the lowest pip valued contact token on his space, and he uncovers 4 Lom. And we will add Boshek to his bounty slot. So he needs to find him and deliver him to Nal Hutta, and he will gain... he only ever does the elimination reward, which is 6,000 credits and 1 fame. And he has no patrols in his space, so he is going to encounter that yellow pip contact token because Forlom is not a bounty he is after, so he is going to flip that yellow one. And he has revealed Maz Kanata. So that is not Chewie, so he is just going to leave her alone for now. And for my next turn, I think we're going to move over here to Ryloth and try to uncover this orange pip contact token, because we are looking for Dr. Aphra, so we want to see if that is her. So we're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can move on to our action step. And for our action step, we don't actually have any credits, so I thought maybe we would buy some cargo, but this one costs money. Don't really want to take another job at the moment either, just because I already have my job and bounty slots full. So this one also costs 1,000 credits. So let's flip one more time. We're allowed to do it one more time. Oh, we get one that's $0. So let's take this one. It's a legal cargo. We have to go to the Imperial Patrol. And then we can gain 5,000 credits of fame and an Imperial reputation. Not bad. We are the Rebel Traders. And that is a cargo. And we have space for a second cargo now, so we will place it up there. And we will flip the next card in the cargo deck to see if we got to do anything. Oh, and we can flip a contact token in our space. So we flip the lowest pipped valued one, which is the green one. And we have Bib Fortuna. And for our encounter step, we are just going to try to see if this is Dr. Afra, and it is. We got Dr. Afra. So now we can encounter her. So we just have to find card 28 in the databank deck. And Dr. Afra's card says, the young archaeologist says she's looking to make some credits to fund her next expedition, but given her ties to the Empire and her reputed penchant for betrayal, she may have an ulterior motive. So it says if you have positive rebel reputation or negative Imperial reputation, move the Imperial patrol to your space and encounter it. So we have positive Imperial reputation and we have neutral rebel reputation, so we don't have to do that. Otherwise, we may spend 4,000 credits to test tactics. Of course, we have 0 credits right now. But if we pass that test, we get to gain Dr. Afra. Oh, but what am I doing? We want to fight her. We don't care about acquiring her. So let's just fight her. And she has a combat value of 5. And we are also going to have a combat value of 5 because we have 3 base combat value. And then from our weapon here, we get an extra one. And if we're resolving a bounty, it says we may gain an additional 1 attack value. We just can't eliminate her. We would have to deliver her. But check this out. We have to go to Ryloth to deliver her. And we are literally on Ryloth right now. So that is super lucky and awesome, and I love it. So let's do our roll. Oh, and that is a good roll. We get 1, 2 for that critical. 3, 4, 5 hits. That is really good. Now we just have to roll higher than Dr. Afra now. So Dr. Afra rolls 3 hits. So we have captured her. That is awesome. So her contact token comes off and it goes onto the bounty card. And then next turn we will be able to deliver her to Ryloth, where we already are, and get 2 fame and 17,000 credits. Woo! And we do also have to take those 3 hits that Dr. Afra made against us. Don't want to forget about that. And for Dengar's turn, we actually got his actual AI player card, which sucks. I hate this one. He's not defeated, but he is going to move directly to our space because we're the player with the most negative reputations. We have negative syndicate reputation right now. And so let's go do that. So Dengar is going to come all the way over here and join us. And it says each player in this space is going to suffer 2 damage for every negative reputation they have. So we are going to gain 2 damage. And if a character gets defeated, Dengar is going to get a fame. So we're going to take 2 damage. And once again, we are saved by our armor. So our armor gives us 2, and we have a standard value of 4 armor. So we have 6 armor. We are still good, not dead, so Dengar does not get a fame. Right on. And then for his encounter step, he's going to do the first that applies. No negative patrol in his space. He cannot spend 8,000 credits to gain a fame. He only has 1,000 credits at the moment. And so he will gain 4,000 credits. So we will give him those 4,000 credits. And then it looks like Dengar is going to be discarding the top cards of the job deck and the luxury deck. And then we're going to shuffle this AI card back into his deck. So we will remove this guy. And we get Relic of the Past. And our undercover agent goes away. And we reveal Legendary Game of Sabak, which is a job. Interesting. And for our turn, we are just going to stay on our space and collect 2,000 credits and move on to our action phase where we can heal 2 damage from Bossk's ability. And let's try cycling the market deck again. See if we can pull something a little better. There we have a weapon for our character. Let's see what the next one holds. A grenade launcher. One would give you 2 extra attack value, which we kind of already have, so we don't really need that either. And for our encounter step, we are on Ryloth, so we are going to deliver Dr. Afra to Ryloth and gain 17,000 credits, which is amazing, and 2 fame. So we are going to get 17,000 credits, which is awesome. And we get 2 fame for that, and Dr. Afra goes away. And that's awesome. We are getting that much closer to victory. The other thing we want to think about doing on the next couple turns is trying to find a mod with at least a $10,000 cost, I guess, because or 9,000, I guess. So Bossk has a personal goal that to have at least 1 mod and 2 gear with a combined cost of at least 15,000 credits to gain a fame and flip this card. So that would allow him to get another fame point. So we did reveal that $8,000 grenade launcher, which would definitely help us towards that goal. Sometimes the luxury deck has expensive mods and weapons in it too. So maybe we'll try cycling the luxury deck on the next turn or two and see if we can find something that might help us get towards that goal as well. And Dengar, he is already on a planet. He's with us on Ryloth with that has a yellow contact token and a green one, but the green one is Bib Fortuna. So he's going to just stay there and collect 2,000 credits. So we'll give him those. And for his action step, it says do all that apply. If all bounty slots full, which they are, discard this player's highest class bounty that does not match a character, crew, or face of contact. So he is actually going to discard Chewbacca after spending all that time trying to look for him. And then he is going to reveal or get a new bounty from the market deck that matches a character, crew, or face of contact that has been revealed, and he's going to gain that bounty. So Lando is the one on the top of the deck, but Lando's contact token is not out there. 4 Loms is, though. We did flip that over on Takodano, so that is going to get, our Chewie is going to get replaced by 4 Lom. So we are going to replace Chewie with 4 Lom. It'd be really hilarious if that yellow contact token that he's on right now was Chewie. And then he's going to do the next thing that applies. He has no negative reputation matching a patrol in his space. So encounter a bounty target, character, crew, or contact in the space. So he has 2 green contact tokens. And as you can see, the green contact token has already been flipped on Ryloth, and it is Bib Fortuna. So that is all he is going to do. And I forgot on that last turn when we flipped, or when he bought 4 Lom there or acquired him, we were supposed to move the Rebel Patrol 3 spaces. So let's do that. So the Rebels are over here, and they're going to move 3 spaces. Yeah, 3 spaces towards Dengar. And for our planning step, we are going to move over to Naboo. Oh, but this guy, oh yeah, we have positive reputation with the Hutt, so we don't have to stop through him. So we can, or we don't have to stop on him, we can move right through him. So we will head to Naboo because we have a job there that we can complete. So we will try to attempt that on our encounter step. For our action step, I think we'll try cycling this luxury deck like we were talking about, seeing if we can find something expensive to buy to complete Bossk's personal goal. So this one costs $10,000 and it's a job. I'm not super interested in that at the moment. So we will flip that and we have, oh, this is a mod. And it costs 10,000 credits. So after you fight a ship combat, if you're not defeated, rotate this card. So we would get to rotate this, and then it gives us an additional fame. And if you're defeated by damage to your ship, rotate this card back. So when you get defeated, it goes back. Interesting. Yeah, we're totally going to buy that. And that will complete Bossk's personal goal, because we will have 10,000 plus 5,000 plus 3,000, which is 18,000. And he only needs to have 15,000 to complete that goal. So that's great. So we will add this mod up there. We will pay the 10,000 credits. And now we have completed this. We have a mod and 2 gear with a combined cost of at least 15 credits. And we will, or 15,000 credits. And we will also use his ability now while we're here to heal 2 damage. And now we get to flip this and we get another fame. And now he has the same action. So he still gets to remove 2 damage from your character and 2 damage from your ship. But now when we can have an encounter, fight a combat against a player in your space who has more fame than you. If you win, gain a fame. So we can fight Dengar and try to take his fame away from him. Sweet. And as always, we have to flip this and see who we're moving. So we are moving the huts 3 spaces towards me. So they are going to be moving onto my planet with me. I'm thankful I have positive reputation with the huts. And then for our encounter for this turn, we are going to try to complete this job. We are on Naboo now. We have to resolve card 45. And if we win, we gain 15,000 credits and a fame. So we have databank card 45 here. So let's see what it says. It says you'll need to find a safe path through the most dangerous part of the city. It says to test knowledge. If you fail, your character suffers a damage. So we do not have the knowledge skill, so we're going to have to roll a crit symbol to pass this. So hoping for a crit, and we fail. So we are going to suffer a damage. Maybe I should have waited to do this till I was completely healed, but you got to take risks sometimes, right? Then the next part of it says you run afoul of some local criminals. So yeah, we have to, I didn't explain that, but we have to complete all these steps in a row. And if we do, then we complete this job and we get the 15,000 credits and the fame. So yeah, it says we have to test tactics. If we fail, your character suffers a damage unless you lose 3,000 credits. Even if we fail this, we have money to prevent some damage, so that's good. And we also have tactics, so we just need a crit or a normal hit symbol. So let's see what we get. Hoping for something good. And we get normal hit symbols, so that is good. We pass that test. So the next thing we have to test is influence, and we actually got influence from Hondo Anaka, so that worked out really well. And if we fail again, we would suffer a damage. So let's do that test. Okay, so we're testing influence. So we have that skill, so we need a crit or a normal hit. And we get a normal hit, so we pass that test as well. And now it says we have to test stealth, which that is a skill we do not have. So we're going to have to roll a crit symbol for this, and if we fail, we take 2 damage. Here's hoping for a crit. And we just got a normal hit, so we are going to take 2 damage. Oh boy, we're getting close to being defeated. And lastly, on the number 5 spot here, it says the jewel sits before you. Just don't trip the alarm. So we need to test tech, which is what our astromech droid gave us. So we have that skill now. If we pass, we get to complete this job. If we fail, we have to fight a ground combat against local security attack 4. If you win, prevent 2 damage from this combat. Win or lose. If you are not defeated, complete this job. Okay, so here's hoping that we can pass this test. So we have the tech skill, so we just need to roll a normal hit or a crit. And we get 2 normal hits, so we got at least 1, so we pass that test. And with that, we complete this job. And we get to claim the rewards, which are 15,000 credits and a fame. Then we remove this card from the game. So we will take another 15,000 credits and another fame. So you can see how turns can ramp up quickly in this game. All of a sudden, like, we've gotten 4 fame fairly quickly, but it took a while to get there. So that can happen in this game. Sometimes the luck goes for you, sometimes it goes against you. But I've been having a lot of fun. This is great. And Dengar, he is not defeated. So he is going to move towards me and look for that green contact token. So he is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And he has to stop there anyway because he has a neutral reputation with the huts. And on Dengar's action step, it says, do all that apply. If all bounty slots full, which they are, buy gear, but his gear is also full. So I don't think he's going to do anything at this point. And for his encounter step, he is on a space with a patrol, but he doesn't have negative reputation with them, so I think that's okay. So he will encounter a green pip contact token on his space. So he will flip this guy here, and he gets IGRM droid. So that is not Boshek. We already know where Forlom is, but he did not discover the whereabouts of Boshek. And lastly, he has a special here that says if not all crew slots are full, which they are not, he still has 2 crew spots remaining. It says to gain the crew that matches a face-up contact of the lowest class on this planet for free. And that happens to be this Black Sun agent. So I will pull his card from the databank deck and you will recruit him. So his token comes off the board and he is going to gain him as another crew. So I also forgot to put a token down here because we gain the reward from a yellow or an orange 4-pip bounty. So we completed that. So now the next thing we want to be doing is winning a ship combat against a patrol. And I don't really want to do one that I have positive reputation with. Like I could do the huts right now, but then I will go down a reputation with them. I don't know if I want to do that. I'm already negative with the syndicate, so I was thinking I might travel through the trailing corps and move to the spinward corps and go fight them. So we will go 1, 2, and we will grab an encounter card for the trailing corps and see if we can cross over to the other side of the board. That's the cool thing about these 2 spaces at the bottom. You can now travel from side to side like they're adjacent with the unfinished business expansion. So that's really, really neat. So these cards have 2 encounters on them. One if you're just encountering the trailing corps or the spinward corps as an encounter. And the other one is if you're trying to actually move across the corps like we were trying to do. And so it says, you encounter an unexpected Imperial checkpoint. You could find a way around it, but if they catch you, you'll be in hot water. You may move directly to the other core world space. If you do, test tactics, which we do have that skill. If you fail, lose an Imperial reputation. Okay, so we get to move to the other side. So we are going to be over here on this side of the board now, and we are going to test tactics. So let's see what we get. We need a normal hit or a crit. And we get a normal hit, so we are safe. We don't need to lose an Imperial reputation. For my action step, I will use Bossk's ability to heal 2 again. And for our action step, maybe we'll just take this job card, since we have no jobs or bounties anymore. And that means we have to move the syndicate 3 spaces towards me, which is great. That is exactly what I want to be doing. Oops, I'll go into view there. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3, and I'm only 1 space away from them now. And for Dengar's turn, he is not defeated. So he is going to move toward a bounty target. So he's going to be moving towards another green target. But there are no more where he is. So he is going to move back towards Forlom. And it's actually the same distance if he were to go the trailing core way the way I went, or back the other way. So I'm just gonna have him go back the other way. So he's gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just move him there, because he wants to get there as quick as possible, I'm gonna say. So his action step says that he wants to buy a ship, but he is unable. Well, he could buy a $5,000 or 5,000 credit ship, but why would he buy a cheaper one? He only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000 credits, so he couldn't really buy a better ship anyway. If unable and on a planet, he is not on a planet, so we are going to skip to the encounter step, which he does not have a patrol in his space, and he can't encounter a bounty target because he's on a nav point. So he's going to gain $4,000, and he's not on a planet, so he's not going to lose a reputation. So I will give him a 5,000 credit and take 1 back. And that is the end of Dengar's turn. Okay, and for my planning step, I am just going to be moving 1 space to this space with the Syndicate patrol. So we are going to fight them on our encounter step. And for my action step, I am going to use Bossk's ability again to remove 2 damage. And since we are not on a planet, we're on a nav point, we cannot do an action step in the market. So we are just going to go move right onto the encounter with this patrol. And how it's going to work is they have a combat value here of 3. So this is the very first patrol, the level 1. They will get stronger as you defeat them. New ones will come out. So this one has a combat strength of 5. No, it's not focusing. There we go. It's got a combat strength of 5, and it actually gives you a fame point. The level 3 one is 6 combat strength, and it also gives you a fame point. And the level 4s on all of them cannot be defeated. They will always defeat you, and they don't give you any fame, obviously, because you can't defeat them. So they will just go around the board defeating everyone. So that is how the patrols work, and they're all pretty much exactly the same as that. So let's fight this patrol and see if we win. And because we upgraded our ship not too long ago, we have a combat strength of 5. And if we fight a ship combat and we're not defeated, we get to rotate this mod card, which actually is going to give us another fame point. So we're going to roll our 5 combat dice. And that was really bad. That's only 2 hits. So the patrol has 3 dice, so we will roll those now. And he only rolled 1 hit. Excellent. So we actually ended up defeating that patrol. And the reward on it is 5,000 credits. So we will take that now. So we get 5,000 credits. And then, like I said before, because we won that combat, if we are not defeated, we get to rotate this card, which says we have 1 additional fame. If you are defeated by damage to your ship, rotate this card again. And a player in your space can fight a ship combat against you as their encounter. So we will do that. We will get 1 additional fame, and we are at 8 fame, which is the amount of fame we need to be able to do our final goal on our ambition sheet. And we also have to take 1 damage onto our ship. I'll move over here. From that damage that was given to us by that patrol. And so now we have won a ship combat against a patrol. So now on our next turn, we can, for on an action step, we can gain card 97, which is Bib Fortuna's bounty. And so we can gain the reward from that once we complete that card. And on Dengar's turn, he is not defeated, so he is going to be moving towards the 4-LOM contact token, same as before. So he is going to be able to move 6 spaces. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3,
4, 5, 6. Not quite enough to make it to Takodano. So he will have to wait until his next turn to gain the bounty from Forlom. And for his action step, it says for him to buy a gear card, but he is not on a planet, so he is not going to do any of that. So he will move right onto his encounter step. He's not in a space with a patrol, and he is not on a space where he can encounter a bounty. So he will spend 8,000 credits to gain a fame. So he will spend 5, 6, 7, 8,000 credits, and he will move up to 4 fame. For my planning step, I'm just going to be trying to move across the core again, because we know that Bib Fortuna's contact token is on the other side there. So we're going to have to go find him again. And since we're on a planet, I can do a market step, but first I will use Bossk's ability to heal that damage from my ship. And I think we're going to buy this Mandalorian armor. We already have an armor, but I'm going to replace it with this because this gives me 3 armor. And when I gain a reward from a bounty, I can reduce the bounty's credit reward to 0 to gain 1 additional fame, which is really nice. Although we already have enough fame to win the game, but still better than the armor card I have at the moment. So let's buy that. And we reveal Chromium Hull for 20,000 credits. And we have to pay 10,000 credits for this armor card that we just bought, and we will discard our armored vest, replace it with our Mandalorian armor. And before I forget, we are going to have to move the Imperial Patrol 4 spaces towards us. And the Imperial Patrol is here, so he is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And for our encounter phase, we are just going to try to move across the core again. And our encounter card says, you may spend 2,000 credits to move directly to the other core world space. So that's pretty awesome. We have 2,000 credits. So we will gladly pay the 2,000 credits. And we will move ourselves back over to the trailing core. And for Dengar's turn, he is not defeated. He is going to move towards that green contact token in Takodana. So he's just going to be moving 1 space to there. And on his action step, it says that he wants to buy another bounty. But he has 2 bounties already. He is full on bounties, so he is going to discard the top card of the cargo deck and gain 4,000 credits. So he will discard this card and reveal stolen supplies. And he is going to gain 5,000 credits, so I'll give him, or sorry, 4,000, so I'll give him a 5 and take 1 away. And now he is on a space with one of his bounty tokens or contact tokens, so he is going to collect the bounty reward for that. So he is going to gain 8,000 credits and a fame. And he removes Forlom's token from the board. And he gains 8,000 credits and another fame. Starting to catch up. Okay, and we are just going to be moving up to Bib Fortuna up here in Ryloth. And so we can move up to 6. Actually, an extra one because of our astromech droid. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but we only need 6 anyway. And for an action, or during our action step, we can use an action to gain card 97. And here's card 97. So this is Bib Fortuna's bounty card, which you can only get from the databank card or databank deck. And basically, if we eliminate him or capture him, we win the game. But he is pretty powerful. He's got 7 attack, and we only have
5 potentially with our weapon. So I think instead of the armor that I bought last turn, it might be more beneficial to buy a weapon that gives me more attack value to try to beat him. So I think we will do that. It's kind of a waste that we just bought that Mandalorian armor, but we didn't know how powerful he was going to be. So this costs 8,000 credits. It's the weapon that happens to be right on top of the gear deck. And it gives me 2 extra attack points, which is what I need right now. Because then I will match him at least. I'll have 7 attack to his 7 attack. So let's do that. Costs 8,000 credits. So we will pay the 8,000 credits. So we'll pay 10, get 2 back. And unfortunately, we're going to have to get rid of our Mandalorian armor, which is just too bad. Because it says in the rules that if you attack and get defeated, as long as the attacker is the one that gets defeated, then you can still win that combat because you defeat them before you get defeated, kind of thing. So I think it's more important to have extra weapons that are going to give us extra attack than it is to have the defense. So that's why we're doing that. And then we will reveal the next card on here, and there is no symbols to resolve. And for our encounter, we are just going to try to capture or eliminate Bib Fortuna. Okay, so we have 7 dice. So let's hope I roll good. And that is not great for 7 dice. That is only 3 hits. 3 hits. So he has to get less than or equal to 3 hits for me to win this. And he also gets 3 hits. So we tie, and in a tie, the attacker wins. So I win that battle, and I win the game. And with that, we put our final token down. And according to the card, we win the game. And I would have to take 3 damage from those 3 hits, which isn't even enough to defeat us. So overall, we did pretty good. We ended up with 8 fame. And Dengar ended the game with 5 fame, although he had more than enough to purchase another fame on probably his next turn, which would have brought him to 6. And once he got Bossk, he would have gained 6,000 more credits and another fame, which would have brought him to 7. Although Bosk's contact token has not been revealed yet, so it probably would have taken him a few turns to find him, but he also would have got more bounties that may have been revealed already. So, but that was Star Wars Outer Rim. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I had a lot of fun making it. And I hope to plan to make more videos like this of playthroughs of games in the future. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed that video. Like and subscribe if you like what we're doing here on the Gaming Alchemy channel, and have a great day.